Muscular tissue or the contractile tissue is going to form nearly 40% of our body weight. It can be present in the form of bundles or in the form of sheath, and it is going to do a very important role, that is locomotion, which means movement of body from one place to another, and it is also going to be associated with the movement of different body part. It is going to form the entire flesh of our body, and it is also going to control the opening and closing of certain apertures. And if it is present in esophagus, it is going to be present in our alimentary canal, so it is going to regulate the movement of the substances within our body. Moving next, we have the characteristics of muscular tissue. So we can see that these muscular tissues are made up of long cells called as muscle fibers, which we can observe over here. So this long cell is called as the muscle fiber. And the cytoplasm of this muscle fiber is given a special name and called as sarcoplasm. The plasma membrane of muscle fiber is given another name and it is called as sarcolemma. And all these muscle fibers are going to contain highly contractile myofibrils, which are arranged their lengthwise and contain two contractile protein, which is the actin and myosin. Now here we can see that many muscle fibers are coming together and they are forming a muscle bundle. So this is one muscle fiber, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth. So all these muscle fibers will come together and they will form a muscle bundle, which will be covered up with a sheath, and the sheath has a name called as perimysium. So number of muscle fibers are bonded together to form muscle bundle and covered by a sheath called as perimysium. We can also see that intercellular matrix between this cell will be absent, and like sarcolemma and sarcoplasm, their endoplasmic reticulum will also be given a special name called as sarcoplasmic reticulum, and inside the sarcoplasmic reticulum there will be certain calcium channels which are going to contain the calcium ion, and this is going to regulate the contraction and relaxation. Now you can see that there are different type of this muscular tissue. So we have three main type of the muscle tissue. The first one is striated, second one is non-striated, and third one is cardiac. Striated is also known as striped, skeletal, or voluntary. Non-striated is also known as unstriped, visceral, or involuntary or smooth muscle. We also have over here that nearly 600 muscles are going to control various movements of our body parts. So this number is very huge. So the first type of muscle that we are supposed to study is called as striated or striped muscle. The name itself suggests striation. Striation means bands. So such a type of striated muscles are going to have alternate bands of light and dark color, and hence they are called as striated muscles. This type of muscle is also called as skeletal muscle because these muscles are directly attached to the bone and they help in their movement. Striated muscles are also called as voluntary muscles. Why voluntary? Because their contraction and relaxation is under our control of our will. So if we want, we can contract this muscle. When we talk about our entire body weight, they are going to make about nearly 50% of our entire body weight. So the flesh we have is nothing but the striated muscle. And these striated muscles are going to contract rapidly and powerfully, because of which they can get fatigued, and this fatigue is because of accumulation of lactic acid, which is produced when anaerobic respiration is there. Let's take a look at the location of these muscles. So striated muscles are present in limbs, face, neck and diaphragm. All these are under our control. Hence the striated muscles are present over here, and that is the reason we say that these are voluntary muscle also. And this muscle bundle. So can you see over here this thing? This muscle bundle is covered with a very tough and fibrous tissue, and this is going to be attached to bones with the help of a thing called as tendon. And we know what is tendon. Tendon is the thing which is going to connect the bone to the muscle. Talking about the structure of striated muscle, so in the image we can see that this muscle is going to be cylindrical and it does not have any branched, hence we can call it unbranched. We can also see that more than one nucleus is present, hence we call it as multinucleate, and it is surrounded by the sarcolemma, that is nothing but the plasma membrane of muscle fiber. Here we can see the structure of myofibrils, which are going to show alternate light and dark band. So can you see the region from here to here is the light band region. The region from here to here is the dark band region. So you can see this pattern all over the myofibril, and you can also see that in the image that each dark band is going to have a light zone and each light band is going to have a dark line called Z line. So can you see this line over here? This is the Z line. And now we can see that from this Z line, this is Z line 1, this is Z line 2. From this Z line to this Z line, the entire unit is going to be called as sarcomere. So the contractile unit of skeletal muscle is called as sarcomere, and it is a part of myofibril between two successive Z lines. Moving towards the next type of muscle that we have, which is called as non-striated or unstriped muscle. They are also called as smooth muscle because they do not have any striations or they do not have any bandings. Hence they are called as smooth muscle. They are also known as involuntary muscle because they are not under control of our will, and such types of muscle are found in our visceral organs, and hence they are also called as visceral muscles. These are going to contract slowly and rhythmically, and because of this motion they are not going to get fatigue for a long time. Now we can see the location of this type of muscle. So we are going to find them in our visceral organs. We find them in alimentary canal, urinary bladder, blood vessels, duct of gland. All these things are not under our control, and hence the name involuntary is given. And this can either occur in the form of sheath or they can occur as sphincter. So sphincter is going to do the controlled movement, like we have esophageal sphincter, we have anal sphincter, which is going to release the thing in controlled manner. Now when we talk about the structure of non-striated muscles, so here you can see this shape is called as spindle shape, which is narrow at the ends and in middle it is going to thicken up. So the non-striated muscle fiber are spindle shape, and we can also see that each fiber has one nucleus only. So we can say that it is going to be uninucleate, and this nucleus is present at the center of the fiber. Since it is not showing any bands, we can say that myofibril do not have bands or striation, and one more important thing to note is that sarcolemma will be absent in this case. Here we have the last type of muscle, which is cardiac muscle. The name itself suggests that they would be found in the wall of the heart, and they are striated muscle, but they are involuntary in nature. That is, we cannot control them, and they are going to work throughout the life without getting tired, and hence cardiac muscles are also self-excitatory. Here we have the structure of cardiac muscle. So we can see that these muscles are branched. In the image we can observe, see the branching over here. So these muscles are going to be branched and they are forming interconnecting network, and we can see the fiber have only one nucleus. Hence we can say that they are uninucleate, and nucleus is located at the center. Now, when we talk about this myofilaments, they are connected at this dark junction. These junctions are nothing but the intercalated disc. So these dark junctions are intercalated disc, and these myofilaments also have striations similar to dark and light band. Hence they are also striated.